Hey guys, this is Invisible John over here, and welcome back to another Identity V video. So NetEase has just released in their Weibo account about their balance change update in their beta server. So in this balance change, we get to see the balance change of 3 characters, namely the female dancer, the magician, and the coordinator. And in this video, I'm going to go through of these balance changes and what do I think about these balance changes. So with that being it, here are the balance changes right now. For the magician's debuff, real or fake, is getting changed. Now let's have a quick recap on what real or fake is. Real or fake is a debuff that caused that when the survivors want to save the magician off a rocket chair, the saving time would be increased by 100%, meaning that the hunter would easily get a terror shock off the survivors they're saving, like this. That people in China gave the magician a nickname called 团灭发动机, and this means that the magician is the trigger leading to the team to get aced. And in this balance change, the magician's debuff is getting decreased, so the saving time would be increased from 100% down to 60%, meaning that the survivors would save a magician off the rocket chair much faster, and it will be harder for the hunter to get a terror shock off the magician. And the next character being balance changed is the female dancer. The female dancer, after a previous buff, the female dancer only has 1 debuff remaining, and that's called Dread. And with Dread, the female dancer would decode 10% more slower. But in this balance change, even Dread is getting removed. The only debuff that the female dancer currently has is getting removed, meaning that after this update, the female dancer will no longer have any debuffs. And this is a massive buff because right now, the female dancer will no longer have any debuffs in the game, just like the gardener. And as we all know that the female dancer's box, when played right, they can kite the hunter for so long, like I did over here. And yeah, as you can see, if a good female dancer player like me plays her, then they can potentially kite the hunter around 3 ciphers easily, just like I did over here. So, as a good female dancer player and a good survivor player, I cannot wait to use more female dancer in ranked. As a good female dancer player and a good survivor player, and finally, we have the coordinator. In the first few seasons, the coordinator used to be the #1 rescuer because of her flare gun, but as time goes by and as hunter players are getting better and better, the coordinator sort of falls off the chart because it takes kinda a long time for the coordinator to fire her flare gun when she pressed it, meaning that the hunter can either dodge the flare gun easily, or they can sort of double hit the flare gun, double hit the coordinator just like this. Yeah, with hunters that can double hit everywhere, the coordinator just isn't that good comparing to before. So in this balance change, the amount of time it takes for the coordinator to fire her flare gun will be decreased, meaning that the coordinator can fire her flare gun much faster. So it'll be harder for the hunter to dodge the flare gun or to hit her a second time. And this is a massive buff because in before, the coordinator players will have to be careful so that the hunter won't dodge the gun or to hit her 2 times, but now things are going to be way easier for the coordinator player right now. Also, her debuff, the Army Bond, is getting tweaked. let's have a quick recap and what the army bond is, shall we? So the army bond is a debuff that caused the coordinator's decoding speed will be decreased by 60% when another survivor is on a rocket chair. And this also applies to when the coordinator is opening gates. And this is a massive debuff to the coordinator because, as you can see right here, the decoding speed is literally so slow when someone else is on a rocket chair. So, in this balance change, the army bond is getting a tweak. The decoding debuff will be toned down from 60% down to 30%. So the coordinator can still sort of decode when someone else is on a rocket chair. So in situations where the coordinator can't save, like if she's on half health, she can still decode with a 70% of normal speed. Like, not the best, but it's definitely better than only a dreadful 40%. So in this balance change, the spawn point is also getting retweaked. Some of the hunters' spawn points will be removed and readjusted in certain maps, while in this balance change, the survivors would no longer have a specific spawn point, and they would spawn randomly within a 15 meters radius of the initial spawn point. I'm not really sure how this would come into play in a match, but I cannot wait to see this along with all the balance changes that we're seeing. So yeah, this is Invisible Zhong, and here are the go through of the beta server update, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!